All right, everybody. Hello, Facebook world. This is Silvia from KeyBella Homes Group at EXP coming to you from my home office. And joining me this afternoon, we have Terri Hatfield Dull, certified mortgage planner. She is one of our team's preferred lenders. And we're going to be talking everything real estate market update with the focus on Terri's world, which is mortgages and loans, to kind of give everyone an update as to what's going on in the real estate world with everything going on in the outside world. So without further ado, Terri, welcome to our talk here.
Thank you. It's so good to see you. It's been too long. So as Sylvia mentioned, my name is Terri Hatfield Dull, and I'm a mortgage loan officer with Certified Mortgage Planners. We're a local mortgage broker right here in Central Florida, specializing in both purchase and refinance.
Perfect. That's awesome. And everyone, Terri is amazing. So we are very happy and fortunate to have her joining us and working alongside us with our clients. So Terri, first and foremost, I have a couple of questions for you. First one being, what's the latest impact that, on the mortgage and the lending world due to this COVID-19?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing some changes in regards to guidelines. Many of our lenders are putting out stricter restrictions right now. The biggest things that we're seeing impacted would be credit score. So a lot of our government loans, we're now seeing higher credit score requirements, whereas maybe a few months ago, we could do 550, 580 credit score. Now we're seeing more like 640. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, there are those stricter guidelines, particularly on your government loans. So USDA, VA, FHA. We are also seeing stricter guidelines as it pertains to debt to income. So whereas you may have been able to purchase a house with a higher payment, a monthly payment, some of those have gotten tighter and stricter in lieu of what's happening with the COVID-19. And then the third thing would be asset requirements. So beyond just the down payment and the closing costs, we're seeing that many lenders are wanting to see additional housing payments already in the bank and ready to go, so that you've got the first few months already available to pay those payments. And then the other thing is we are seeing some restrictions on programs like bank statement loans for self-employed, some of your investment property purchase loans, as well as jumbo, have either become much less available or in many cases suspended altogether.
Okay, great. So it seems like it's very fluid and things are changing from pre-COVID. All right, now another hot topic here, as time has been progressing with all this, what about all the people that have been furloughed? How is this affecting the process now and when they all start going back to work as far as buying a house?
Yeah, so one of the things with furloughed buyers is that we are having to wait until they are back at work. So once they're back at work and they've received their first pay stub, we'll be able to count that income again. Hopefully that's going to happen really soon in our market. The one thing I will say, as long as there's not a gap that's larger than 6 months, we should be okay in still getting them qualified pretty quickly once they're back at work.
Okay, so the loan picks up where you left off before they furloughed.
Yeah, so if we're already in a pre-approval process or if we've started a loan, we may be paused temporarily while they're in that furlough process, but as soon as they're back to work, we know that first pay stub's coming in, we're good to go and start that process again.
Okay, great, good to know.
Sylvia, I'm curious on your side, how are you helping buyers in today's market, especially as it pertains to like showings?
Okay, great question. So yeah, absolutely. So, just to let everyone know, for us in our world, we are considered essential. So business is still as usual for us. So my team and I, we're still working with clients. We're still working with buyers. We're still working with sellers. As it pertains to me with the buyers, we are taking, the social distancing guidelines, and we are adhering to them. We're doing all our best. Everyone on our team, we have our gloves for showings. We have masks. Vacant properties, it's a lot easier because the house is vacant. So we're not dealing with touching other people's spaces. Every client of ours, when we meet them at the property, if we're meeting them at the property, they're getting a good old hand sanitizer from us. So, yeah.
That's gold right now.
I'm sorry?
I said
Yeah,
that's gold right now.
liquid gold, hot commodity here. So, also for the people that aren't feeling comfortable yet going out, into the homes, or for some of our out of state clients that are looking from outside of Florida, we're also doing virtual showings. So we'll take video of the property if a virtual tour hasn't been provided by a listing agent, and we'll send them, videos, whether it be via WhatsApp, via Zoom. Listen, when there's a will, there's a way, and we're definitely getting creative with the way our showings are going. But they're happening.
That is so great. I love that you're doing virtual tours now as well. What a great way to adapt to the stay-at-home order, and with people maybe not feeling as comfortable being out moving around.
Yeah, technology, your best friend or your worst enemy. And I think these days it's been a best friend for us in our industry. So,
Absolutely.
So back to you. From your perspective and in the lending world, is it still a good time to purchase a home in Central Florida?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I would say it's still a great time to buy. If you have been deemed an essential worker and your employment's not been negatively impacted, we're seeing a lot of really great purchase activity. This is still considered our busy season, at least the beginning of busy season. Rates are super favorable right now. Most clients are locking in the threes, so 3.375 to 3.875, depending on credit, down payment, and loan program. So for those looking to purchase, I would say it's an excellent time.
All right, great. And yeah, I mean, you've done such a great job. I know you're watching those rates like a hawk, right? So with the clients you've had for us, and that window that opens up with the rate locks, you're jumping on those. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do that. How about on the selling side? Would you recommend, if somebody's thinking about selling their home, that they hold off doing that, or is this still a good time to list?
So my answer to you is going to be, it depends. I think we really have to sit and kind of, look back at what your goals are, what your motivation is. If you're looking to, stay in your home shorter term, it may be well worth holding on still. Selling. If this is going to be like your longer term, if you're upgrading, for something more long term or what have you, then it may be worth holding off a little bit. I think right now we're more about a pause, if you will, than a stop. So for sellers, the good thing is that pre-COVID, going into all this, the inventory was at, a year super low since I think 2005, 2007. So we went into a very low inventory, which was at that, it still is a seller's market. So once again, it's just kind of seeing what your needs, what your goals are. And we can definitely take a look at that and advise you, because it may not be the right time for you to sell, or it very well could be, but that's kind of on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really individual based off of somebody's goals. How would it work in regards to showings being handled on the listing side? So if I were to list my home today, how are you handling the listing side and allowing people to come into the homes with COVID?
Yeah, great question. So once again, like with buyers, vacant properties, if you're an investor or you're someone that's already, vacated your property from a showing perspective, super easy. We're asking all buyer's agents. So on our showing instructions, we'll tell, agents, please wipe, down before you leave, please wear a mask, all that stuff. On the listings that are owner occupied, we have to be very sensitive to the seller's needs, wants, likes, requests. So once again, it's very individualized to our sellers. For example, last week, I walked into a house. I wasn't the listing agent, but it was a great idea. And, we can definitely do that as well. We'll put showing instructions at the front door. Please take your shoes off, or here, here's gloves, here's masks, whatever the case may be, whatever is going to make our sellers comfortable. We will definitely do for them. We're also, once again, back to technology. We're doing videos of our listings or virtual tours of our listings that we're also sharing to potential buyers. And that way it's kind of, going to fit the comfort level for everyone.
It'll be interesting to see that after the pandemic, how many of these new protocols will actually stick and stay, right? Some of them sound like they're good habits to have. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see how that works.
yeah, absolutely. So, well, yeah, this has been great. I mean, super informative. You know, I know these are just kind of some of the questions that, you know, on a daily basis we're getting as we're calling our clients. So I figured it'd be a great time not only to introduce you and have people see, you know, the face behind the emails and the voice that's Terri, but also just to get some opportunities to ask some questions. I can't.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. I just want to say that we're obviously available to answer any individual questions. So as families have individual questions specific to their home approval or refinance, we would be happy to help anytime.
And another thing that you're doing too, because I've gotten, are people that have been on the fence too about renting versus buying, like what makes sense, because rent these days is just as much, if not as more of a mortgage. So to your point earlier, if people can take advantage of these lower interest rates, you will have you know, conversations with people, right? If they're on the fence.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people just want to know kind of what does it take, right? So what is required, whether it be credit or down payment or income. So we're always happy to just have those conversations. You know, our goal is to leave people better than we found them. So if we can help fill some of that information gap, we're happy to do it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Great, Terri. Well, thank you so much for joining us. To everyone else out there watching, this is the start of many web series that we're going to be doing. We're going to be, you know, bringing on all kinds of vendors or people in the industry to help educate our clients. So we will be doing this on Wednesdays, 4 o'clock. If there's any topic or matter that is of interest to you, please feel free to message us, comment below, inbox us. We're happy to, you know, answer questions or bring content that it is that you guys are looking to do. So thank you, Terri.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Questions or not, but I think we'll leave it like that. If anyone has any questions or thinks of anything, because that's what happens when the conversation ends and people leave like, oh, should have asked that. Feel free to post your question below and we will gladly answer it. And once again, Terri with Certified Mortgage Planners and yours truly, Silvia with KeyBella Homes at EXP.
Awesome.
Bye, Terri. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.